Okay, so you probably watched my clip, part 1 of this. I'm not sure the title. It's whatever this title is, but part 1, not part 2. So you probably need to see that if you want to understand what I'm on about. But definitely go and do it, and then come straight back, because this is really important, and it's really exciting stuff that you don't hear every day. It's what you want to hear. So okay, so I was up to where Mum had just found out she had cancer, and she couldn't be cured, and she had approached me. We were walking one time because she used to do lots of walking, and she said, I've got something I want to speak to you about. It's very important now, and I have a word from God for you. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And she just explained that it was a prophecy, and I knew what prophecy was, sort of, because when I was younger we went to a church in Brisbane, and a visiting man of God came there, and they called him a prophet, and he actually spoke words over people's lives, like said, oh, I have a word from God for you. So to someone who doesn't really understand much about the Bible, like a word from God could be likened, it may seem similar to like tarot cards, or reading the future and stuff like that, but it is not the same at all, and I'll talk a bit more about that later. Well, no, I'll talk about it now, because the thing is, there's two different things. I think a word from God is the fact that God, the creator of the universe, is talking behind the word, whereas a word about the future is, and I've in my past done tarot cards and spoken to people like that, and done lots of different things in that sort of arena, and yeah, it appears to work. It appears to have great insight into the unknown, and all the rest of it seems really empowering. But the thing I've come to know, and the Bible's very clear on it, is that what is behind, what's the unseen driving force behind these things, is what you need to know about. I know that a prophecy, a word of God, comes from God, and I know that God has plans for us, plans to prosper us, not to harm us. That's what Jeremiah 31, I think, says, is that. And whereas the Bible also says, Jesus said when he walked on the earth, Jesus said, the devil comes to rob, to kill, and to rob, steal, kill, destroy, something like that, and that's his plans, that's his intention, is to make you feel like crud, make you want to die, make you think your husband and your marriage is just the biggest joke on the earth, make you bleh, and that's, so, if you're feeling like that, and you're thinking it might be God's fault, just maybe keep listening, okay? So, yeah, so she said she had a prophecy, and prophecy can be found in the Bible, right through the Bible, right from the Old Testament to the New Testament. You read about Israel, and Israel did this, and Israel did that, and Israel had all these wars, and rah-da-rah-da-rah, and it seems really hard to understand. But the thing is, right from the very beginning of time, right to the end, there was prophecies right throughout the Bible, and they all pointed towards one thing. They all pointed towards Jesus. There was different things, God was giving promises to the Israelites as well, and he said, I have this for you, and I have that for you, I have the promised land for you, I'm going to tear down them walls of Jericho, all these sort of things. But the prophecies in the Bible all pointed towards Jesus, and it was God speaking. Prophecy is God speaking into people's lives, and sometimes he can speak correction. There's prophecies where God's saying, your heart's far from me, I want your heart, and your heart's far from me, and if this is going to happen, because of the road you're choosing to go that way, and this is the way I want to go, want you to go. So prophecy can be something that will bring you back to God, because that's where you need to be, and you don't need to be off doing your own thing, because it's going to allow the enemy to just annihilate your life. So and prophecy can also sometimes be really encouraging to spur you on that track. The end goal is being with God and being with Jesus. So that's what prophecy is about. So Mum had this awesome prophecy, she reckoned, and I was like, I was 15, I was thinking, what the heck are you talking about, mate? Like she started talking about it, and I was just thinking, oh wow, are you a fortune teller? Like, you know, she started really talking. I was thinking, you know, she said, look, I am going to die. The thing is, the medical people have said that I'm going to die. I'm going to die of cancer, and that's, you know, how it is. And she said that I ended up, sorry, my little girl just walked in. She's distracting me right now, and this is take 26, so oh dear. But anyway, okay, so, yeah, so she ended up saying, you know, that God could take that away from that cup of pain and sorrow, the cup of death away from her, you know, the fact that, I don't know if that's the way to say it or not, I'm not sure about that, but, you know, she was saying that she didn't have to die of cancer, that God is a miraculous God and that he could heal her. And I think I said that because I was 15, I saw lots of cool miracle things. I thought Jesus was this, you know, yeah, if you believe in Jesus, here's this big miracle freak show that does all these, you know, rub the magic lamp and, you know, Jesus will do this and rah-da-rah-da-rah, you know, that's what I thought. So I was like, well, you know, why won't he heal you? And she was like, well, you know, God showed me, you know, he's revealed to me. I've gone to God with this, she said, and I've said, God, you know, what do you want? What's going on? And she said, God has showed me that, you know, where your heart lies, Bridie, and your heart lies on that road that way, away from God, you know, and you're continuing to beeline for that place, you know. So she said that she's going to continue having faith that I will come back there, and she said, I will. I believe that, you know, God's going to answer my prayers because that's what he does, and you will come back. But she said, I see that perhaps this opportunity, you know, that the cancer is an opportunity to not be in pain anymore, and that God had revealed to her what would happen with my life, and that it would be add to her already full cup of hurt. You know, she had a hard life, and she had lots of unforgiveness aimed towards her from her older children and stuff like that, and she'd already tried to overcome guilt already, and she had overcome guilt, but, you know, people in her life wouldn't let her past that, and so she had a hurting life. So he said, okay, you know, so he gave her a word then to bring me through what was about to come. So she began this prophecy. I'll get to it now. And she said that she said somebody is about to come into your life. He's not in your life right now, but he will have a spirit of suicide over his life. And I was like, wow, what are you talking about, Mum? Like, are you psychic? Like, oh my goodness, like, I thought you were this big Christian freak, and you're starting to talk about, you know, oh wow, you're starting to, this is good, you know, this is what I'm after. I want to know about fortune telling. Yeah, who is this person that's a bit suicidal, or starting to think like, oh, like, is it such and such or such and such? And she's like, no, don't make light of it. And she just told me clearly, she just said, this person is coming into your life, he will have a spirit of suicide, and he will be used to test you. Like in with Peter, when Peter was tested 3 times and he denied Christ 3 times, over the years this person would test you. So how much time is left there, Mel?
1 minute.
1 minute, sorry, okay, this is obviously going to take forever, and I'm going to have to go on to a part 3. Sorry.